I manage a healthcare research and analysis team, and if I can just give one piece of advice in relation to my role and the people who work on my team, it's to just be really, really curious about everything. So try and aim to ask, really amazing questions. It's something that will help you, if you're in a social situation where you're struggling a bit and you don't know, how to interact with people and you're feeling uncomfortable, just ask them about themselves and they'll love to talk about themselves. But that helps so much in the work that we do, just having that curiosity about why something's happening in a certain country or in a certain market, and really sort of helps us inform the work that we do. So yeah, I would always, when I'm interviewing people, I would always be looking for someone that just has that sort of natural curiosity. And I think that sort of helps to drive passion in the work that people do, and that would really kind of come across in a job interview, that you're passionate about what you do. Yeah, and in terms of I put down for this one transferable skills. So I think a big one, it's been touched on a lot, is communication. And I would advise young people who are, about to go out into looking for jobs or kind of next step in education, is to maybe keep a regular sort of check-in of things that you've done and skills that you think that you've used when you've done that. There's a lot of sort of looking forwards, always looking to the next thing, but going back to the point about how experience is, hindsight is what sort of helps you to know what you're good at and what you're learning. Just kind of keep a diary of what you've learned in certain things that you've achieved, and that kind of helps you talk confidently about it in future, if it's job interview or at university or whatever you choose to go on to do.
Yep. So Jeremy and I actually last year, we gave a talk to some, I think they were 15, 16-year-olds maybe, and we did discuss some of these topics with them. And I think for me, one of the most important things in any career really is attitude. So I would say that I've got to kind of where I am, not necessarily from being the best at everything, but definitely because I was able to like put my hand up and say, okay, I'll give that a go. Or, in all of your interactions with people around the firm, if you have a positive attitude and you want to, work on something, do your best, even when it's out of your comfort zone, I think that really goes quite far in helping people to, for you to stand out, and for people to think, actually, I really want to work with this person. So I think having trying to maintain that really positive attitude is always a good career advice, and that's definitely transferable as well, I think.
Yeah, just adding something to what Louise said, I think it's really important to be proactive, just as she said, I will give that a go. I will try that, even if I don't know. And it's really important to show that you are willing to learn, and then that you are willing to ask the questions. Like, even if you are afraid of making a mistake, before making that mistake, go and ask, like, I'm not sure about this. Can you please explain to me? So then you'll show that you're actually interested into learning how to do that in a good way, like providing quality, and that you are not afraid to ask the question. And yeah, always be proactive.
I think that's so important. I just want to say it as well. I had a mentoring session earlier this week, and I was talking to someone who was applying for a job where you applied for the job and then there was an interview day, and she didn't get an interview. And my advice was turn up to the interview day. It doesn't matter if you got given an interview or not. Just turn up to the interview day. Look smart, turn up. So you didn't get an interview, but you're here. Any chance you can get an interview. And I just think just putting yourself out there and saying, you said no, I want to do it. There's no downside in it. And Anjali mentioned it earlier about volunteering for things, standing up, presenting stuff. Just put yourself out there. Yeah, I'd definitely echo that advice.
We've asked, did she get it? Did you?
Well, it was 2 days ago, so I don't,
Oh, right.
I don't know, but I don't even know if she's going to turn up and do the interview. I tend to be a bit cheekier than the average person that I speak to, but I think that you should, right?
I was just going to say as well, I think about, I mean, I love, Jeremy, that advice. I think that is absolutely amazing. What I was going to say as well is, you know, you are going to make mistakes in life. And I think one of the important things in work when you make a mistake is to own it. Like, just, you know, take accountability for it, take responsibility for it, and work with, you know, whoever you need to work with in order to try and rectify it. Because the worst thing you can kind of do is hide from a mistake. I think, you know, everybody is human. Everyone knows that you're going to make mistakes in work life as well as in your personal life, and you just have to take responsibility for that. So I think that that's an important aspect of, you know, having that positive attitude, is being able to accept that.
Yeah, completely agreed. And I think to add on to what you've just said, Louise, as well, is having problem solving skills as well, to say, actually, I've made the mistake. This is how I'm going to prevent it from happening again. And looking at avenues and ways of fixing things that you've done, or seeing areas that you can think, actually, something could be done using your initiative. And these are all things that are not necessarily taught in school, but something that you can practice along the way.